Hello and welcome back to Mechanics of Poetry Season 2. This is episode 7, where we look at 3 poems by a poet and analyze them, discuss them, whatever comes to mind. And today's poet is Cynthia Bryant. I'm going to give her a chance to say whatever she wants before we go into the first poem. Go ahead, Cynthia.
Hi, I'm Cynthia Bryant. I'm probably not your average poet. I didn't come through academia. I actually came through therapy after I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder and started writing for that. And I'm self-taught. I also did not finish school, so definitely self-taught. But since I began, I learned more and I joined writers groups, and I ended up becoming poet laureate of Pleasant in California, 2005 to 2007. And then later again in 2011 to 2013. I might write, I'm more intuitive. I write intuitively, I think.
Excellent introduction. I remember you attaining those things, and let's get into the poetry. Yeah, first poem.
Okay, let's see if I can do this.
And your background is phenomenal. I'm looking at your background. It's so poetic. You got poems up there.
Okay, this is the first one. Does that take me off?
We haven't got the screen share yet.
Okay. My husband kind of sat with me and showed me how to do all this. So
I can help you with that too if you need help. Basically, what you do is put on screen whatever it is you want to see, and then
I
go
got
to
that. Yeah.
And then go to Zoom and select share screen. And there should be a box with different screens to choose from. And you choose the one that has what you want to show.
Okay.
Hopefully that works.
It says, okay, it just says send. Please enter a name or an email.
Yeah, it's usually a visual process. If you choose the green button, share screen, you'll get a box comes up that has little screens in it. And you choose the screen that you want. It looks like you're going to get some technical help right now. Oh,
my technical help is sneaking in the back.
Let's do that. Let's do that. We want an efficient episode. Yeah.
My roadie.
So you're trying to figure out how to.
I had it and
the trickiest part of this whole show is screen sharing. It really is.
Right there. So you're going to do your share screen right down, right down here.
Okay.
Okay. And then you pick the one that you want to share. I've got them all down here.
They're all right here.
Right. So
I want
that so well.
That one.
And then you just click share right there.
All right.
Let's see when I get back. Okay. There I am.
Okay. You good?
I'm good. Thank you.
If you can make it a little bit larger for our viewers, can you do that?
Can I make it a little bit larger? Yeah. Hey, Ellen, stay here.
I can read it. But
your Zoom
on a YouTube screen, it'll look very small.
Oh.
You just
whoa.
Use your mouse easier. The plus and minus.
And you can scroll up and down. Yeah.
Use your plus and minus there, and you can.
That's a little big.
Get it to a nice comfortable in between. Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
That's good. Let's go.
How do I move it up and down then, huh? God, I thought we didn't go through all that.
Just your scroll bar over on the right.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, Don.
It's all right. That's right. Let's. We're all learning here. Yeah.
And so, did you want me to read it or?
Please do read it out loud, yes.
Okay. Cookies for the children of Haiti. On any given day, kids of every age are seen sitting, legs crossed, squatting, nibbling this much sought after staple in the saline slum. Women up early cross an open sewer to buy dirt, $5 to make 100 cookies, climb rope ladders, carrying buckets up to the abandoned prison roof, sift out stones and twigs, infuse dirt with water. On occasion, add some sugar, salt, and butter. Fill oversized clay pots, thoroughly mixing with hands, some while nursing. Scoop out a handful at a time, arrange into cookies on the ground, left to dry in the sunshine. Sell to others waiting, offer hopes of rich minerals held in the earth, a way to slow the rumble of empty dreams.
Thank you, Cynthia. Wow, this is a good poem. Two things I like about it right away. It's not overwritten. Poems don't have to be overwritten to be good, right? The power of poems is in their imagery and of course the philosophy behind it. And I'm looking, can we go to the beginning of the poem?
Sure.
Yeah. It's just a little farther. There we go. So the visual setup here is really good. I mean, I can visualize this completely. The kids sitting cross-legged, squatting, nibbling. And then the second stanza, I should say, has the women crossing an open sewer to buy dirt. And I've heard this news article in the past. This really happens, and
Yes.
it's astonishing poverty. And the interesting visuals continue. Climb rope ladders carrying buckets up to the abandoned prison roof. Sort out stones and twigs. Infuse dirt with water. It's a recipe.
Yeah.
Thoroughly mixing with hands, some while nursing. So they're serving double duty. All right, let's go to the last part of the poem, because that's what I really want to talk about. This is all good narrative. And of course, the cookies are arranged on the ground to dry in the sunshine. So you've got that picture. It's just phenomenal. And then, of course, my favorite stanza, as it should be, is the last stanza. This is where the poem transcends. Others waiting, sell to others waiting, offer hopes of rich minerals held in the earth. And that's a very good line. And the last one, of course, is the best of all. A way to slow the rumble of empty dreams. And that is so multifaceted. So you got some skills there. Self-taught, but fabulous. I'm ready for another poem.
Okay.
So how do we bring that other poem up? You have it handy?
Yeah, they were all in there together. So
Okay.
let's see. See what he did. This is what I did before. So how did he do that? New share?
Yeah, I think you have to do a new share. Yeah.
New share. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
so
what he did.
close this one.
And they're so tiny, it's hard to, okay, I wanted to do this 1 second.
Yeah, but I think, yeah, there, you got it. You got it. Okay. Okay, we're ready.
Okay. You want it a little bigger? Bye.
I'm okay, but I worry about the YouTubers who don't increase the size of their screens.
Okay.
This is perfect. This is perfect.
Okay. First, the epigraph. 'Cause we'll make it to a love supreme, palm trees and breeze. I'm dreaming of a love supreme, of a love supreme, of a love. John Coltrane, artist. White supremacy. Am I really superior? How can that be? Thin-skinned, milky white, created in absence of love, sold on the black market. I crawled on bloody knees through emotional obscurity to now. As I look about, I see every hue of upright human doings. Flesh tones run the gamut of albino white to darkest night. Happily housed souls, the family of humankind. Even color of eyes give little hint of what character peers through. Each have sulked in poverty to increments of gilded wealth, kneeled down to many or no gods, experienced joy and loss. Beside the necessary differences of male to female anatomy, amorphous others spectrum of all remains the same. Have the same viscous fluids that maintain life on the inside, loosen each moment when interrupted, erupted to air, flowing on the ground, circle the drain. Our emotions are all that separates souls, allow self-loathing, hatred of others to divide us. We cannot detect from sight that which makes that atom split, makes us destructive to one another. Superiority does not exist in a world where all were created from stardust with misfit genes that only enhance imperfections. That's it.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's go back to the start. I definitely found some places I want to point out that are just awesome.
Okay.
First off, John Coltrane. I'm only versed in John Coltrane because of my good friend Kaloki, who was a major Coltrane fan. And then Kamal Daoud, a poet, also channeled John Coltrane. And now we have white supremacy. I love how you get into the visual of it right away. The thin-skinned, milky white, sold on the black market, crawled on bloodied knees. These are just one surprise after the other. That's really good. And then in the second stanza, what was it? You had, yeah, the second line has this phrase I thought was just phenomenally inventive: upright human doings.
Yeah.
That is just, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. That is unexpected, and I love it. You got some alliteration going on there with happily housed souls, the family of humankind. Great observation. Color of eyes give little hint of what character or soul peers through. Fabulous. Let's slide down to the last part of the poem. Thank you.
There's a.
And yeah, and you know, each one of these has something additional to offer. That's what it's all about. Each have sulked in poverty to increments of gilded wealth. Who can't feel that? Kneel down to many are no gods. Yes, yes, yes. Joy and loss. That was more expected than the others, but I don't think there's any other way to say that. And then this stanza, let's see, it's the next to last, yeah, has the male-female amorphousness that we all have, but we are all, in the penultimate stanza, we are all with the same fluids. And the word viscous, is it viscous?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the spelling. This looks like vicious.
It could be.
So check the spelling on that one. I'm not a
Okay.
spelling, but I think it might be V-I-S-C.
Yeah,
I think
you're right.
Viscous. I'm not sure on the spelling of it, but right now it looks like vicious, so it's got to be fixed. Yeah.
No vicious fluids.
Yeah, vicious fluids. That's a whole nother game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that brings up something I brought up in an earlier episode. I myself, when I was very young, I must have been 21. That's right. I was in college trying to get my first poem published, and the editor refuted publishing me very viciously. And I asked for advice from friends. What do I do to get published? What do I do? And one of them said, use a fancy word somewhere in the poem, like viscous. Maybe there's something to that, having a demonstration of vocabulary, but not just, you know, a feast of vocabulary, but just a word here, a word there. There's a very famous poet we all know, Edgar Allan Poe, the vocabulary master of poetry in the English language. And he would use those words, you know, only when necessary, only when they fit. And it's brilliant. Which brings me to your last stanza. There we go, last two stanzas. What note did I make here? I made a special note here because you're encompassing everything in these last stanzas. And you said in the first line, you said, our emotions are all that separate souls. And I don't know if you do this, but this is something I consciously do. I try to avoid using the word twice if possible, unless I mean to repeat it. And so let me get a drink of water here.
Are you talking souls?
So well, is souls repeating too?
I don't know.
That I didn't notice, but I'm just self-editing.
Okay.
The word all appears in the penultimate stanza and the last stanza. You said,
oh, okay.
Superiority does not exist in a world where all were created from stardust. So I'm wondering, are those different? Our emotions are all that separate souls in a world where all were created from stardust. Because my first choice is usually get rid of one of them.
Right.
But I don't know if that's possible here, because you need that all. Our emotions are all that separate souls. That's very good. Superiority does not exist in a world where, well, you got to have all, unless you have a synonym where everyone was created from stardust or something. I don't know. That's just my attempt to be useful here. But I don't remember souls being a problem. It was souls up earlier in the poem. I know superiority is, right? Let's go back to the start real quick. Go back to the start real quick. Forgive me for critiquing.
I love it. Thank you.
Yeah, I seek perfection in my friends. So let's see, character of souls there. Yeah, I see character of souls. The souls is different. It's got that one letter different. So that's a variation. So you're good. And you have superior, supremacy, and at the end it says superiority, right? So it's different every time. So that's cool. Souls, the first time you use the word souls, but let's see the first use of souls again. Let me take a quick look at that a little farther up. Because here I think you're okay. Our emotions are all that separate souls. That's not changeable. And here you have what character of soul, that's a variation, you're okay. Was there another soul in there? Yeah, happily housed souls. So the rule I follow myself is if I need to use a synonym, then I use the more interesting word in the second use. And the normal one is in the first use. So here it sounds very natural to say happily housed souls. That sounds great. So I guess we'll look at the end one last time. Let me look at the end of the poem one last time. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I go through 10 to 20 versions of my poems just over little stuff like this. Okay.
Sometimes I do too.
Yeah, I think that's pretty true for everybody. You look it over, and then you walk away and you look it over again. They wake up the next day, you look at it one more time. Well, I mean, my first instinct was to go with the word us, but then the word us is 2 lines down. An interesting thing to do would be to eliminate that word souls altogether and just say, our emotions are all that separate. Leave them hanging a little bit, maybe. Or all that separate. So I don't think you'll lose anything there. You won't lose anything. And there's unnecessary repetition of souls not necessary. So I think you'll get away with getting rid of that word. The poem still has 100% of its weight. Woo! All right, we better move on to another poem. The third and final poem is.
That's stop share. No.
Yeah, I do this. I do it the same way. I stop the share and bring up the other poem. That's the easy way to do it. Some people are talented, but I'm not. I just do it.
And then share screen and then
whatever works. You gotta find that poem, put it up. You got it down, yes.
And it fits on one page.
It could be a wee bit larger, a wee bit. Just a wee bit larger if you can do it. I don't know. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. Thank you. All right, thank you, Cynthia. Go ahead.
when we meet again, in the silent seconds of a few millennia later, your dancing eyes will darken against sensed intrusion. Your peripheral sight will catch me, my nose pressed closely to you, as to peer in like an after-hours shopper admiring a window display. My eyes will close slowly, taking in the fickle flash of flesh entwined in hungry arms and legs. Your cupid bow mouth will move in sounds that only lovers utter. Auburn hair and flaxen locks swirl against rumpled bed sheets, unison breaths ragged with loving. In the distance, a cricket will chirp. Hearts will skip to the unsung song as familiar warmth finds its way to redundant smiles that still don't remember more than we and don't have a care about where to begin to question, only how to say hello.
What a wonderful poem. That second stanza took me to the moon and back. It was great. Hey, strong first line, in the silent seconds of a few millennia later. That is intriguing. Makes me want to read it some more.
I've got a whole past life story that came in my head, and this is just the little poem.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? That's fascinating. That is utterly fascinating. So the title, When We Meet Again. You're
Have you ever
dancing
met
eyes.
somebody where you just felt like,
Yeah, recognition, right?
yeah,
Right?
instant
Yeah.
recognition?
You know, I think that I really believe you're right. There's something to that, right? There's people you become instant friends without any effort. It's just like, boom.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Boom. It's like recognition. All right, where was I? I was dancing with those eyes. Yeah. Because of the alliteration. Just fabulous use of the nouns here, the parts of the body, the nose, the eyes. I see eyes twice now. You're dancing eyes, my eyes will close slowly, but that's a venial sin, not a mortal sin. Repeating, especially if you got eyes.
I'm not a Catholic.
Yeah, I was raised. You can tell I was raised Catholic. I'm just always trying to perfect things. So this is really good. That second stanza. Oh my God! Fickle flash of flesh, hungry arms and legs, cupid bow mouth. Only lovers utter. Oh, auburn hair and flaxen locks swirl against rumpled bed sheets. My God, I want to take this poem home. Unison breaths ragged with loving. Wow. Can I borrow this poem?
Sure.
Yeah. In the distance, the cricket will chirp. Now that was a pleasant surprise. It's always good to have a surprise in a poem. So that's really a good surprise. Hearts will skip to the unsung song. Lovely. Familiar warmth finds its way, and that's a warm line. It's with the alliteration. Redundant smiles that still remember. Alliteration is really working here. And then you said more than we. And I love how that's a short phrase. And don't have a care about where. Internal rhyme to begin to question only how to say hello. This is lovely on paper and out loud. Wonderful poem. And it's, how old is this poem? Oh my gosh, it's
2007.
14. It's 14. It's ready.
Well,
ready.
You can tell those teens, there's a lot of hormones.
Well, that brings me up to the last thing we need to do in this episode, and every episode, and that is I want people to find the poetry of Cynthia Bryant. How did they do it?
How did they find my poetry? Well, Cynthia Lane Bryant, all one word, poetry.com.
So you have a website. Very good.
And that gives you all the rest and where my books are and all it's not up to date with readings and stuff. I quit after the pandemic hit us, but.
And if memory serves me well, for a long time now, you've been publishing other poets too. Isn't that true?
Yeah, I like to do that. This one is what I did just for me. I had one before Poets Lane that did for others too.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. All right. Thank you so much. I'm glad people get up close and personal with your poems here. These are fabulous.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask you to stop the screen share so we can say goodbye to your face and not your poem. There we go. And one last look at that room. That's really a nice room. You got it organized well. You're an organized person.
Yeah,
It seems
sometimes.
like it. Oh, what I can see. This is not my room. And it's backwards today. I don't know how that happened, but okay. Mechanics of Poetry backwards.
Oh, it's forward when I see it.
Oh, it is? Okay. I was
Yeah.
looking backwards to me. Okay, well, thank you for that. I'm reassured. I don't have to figure out another thing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. I'm going to put this up on YouTube straight away. So I'm going to stop the recording.
Okay. Thank you, Dawn, for having me.